Hey guys, Wild Willie here. This is more of an information update, so to speak. I heard some really reliable information today about the coronavirus. But before I talk to that real quick, I just want to express my disappointment to the WHO. Now, they went on today, they're still not declaring it a pandemic, even though it meets all the criteria. You're seeing countries like Italy. Last night they quarantined and shut down the north of Italy. Today it's the whole country. Whole country's been quarantined, shut down. No non-essential travel, etc. This should have been done when they had 1,000 cases. Now they're, I don't even know what, 7, 8,000, I forget how many hundreds dead. This should have been declared a pandemic. When pandemic's declared, there's protocols that have to be followed, and they're saying they're not declaring it a pandemic because they're afraid of startling the populace. Well, look at the stock markets. The populace is already startled, and the less you say, the more they're going to get startled. You're not declaring it, you're not saying the P word because it comes down to funding. And the people that fund you don't want you to say the P word because it affects your funding, and it affects them if you do. But anyways, that's enough of that. I was fortunate today to be a fly on the wall in a room somewhere, and the person I was with was on a conference call. This individual was on a conference call with doctors and scientists that just got back from China, Wuhan, China. They've been there for a month and a half studying the coronavirus. Now, they're studying it there because that's ground zero. Everywhere else around the world, it's exploding. It's what now? 114 countries? 60% of the Earth has got coronavirus on it now as far as countries. 60% of the countries on the planet. I don't even know, last time I looked, 115, 116,000 cases or whatever it was. Anyways, these individuals were in Wuhan because they're studying, it's leveled out, and they're studying every sort of aspect of it, transmission, life cycle, everything of it. So I didn't understand a lot of the conversation that was going on the phone. They were reporting to this individual, who's a friend of mine. This individual then reports to the powers that be that make our decisions and keep us safe for us, I guess. So a couple of the interesting things that I heard, anyways, was the infection rate. Now, the average flu, I guess, can infect, in ideal conditions, can affect up to 9 people. So if you have the flu, you can infect up to 9 individuals on average in ideal circumstances. Now, I guess the coronavirus, you can infect up to 45 in ideal conditions. What ideal conditions are for that, I'm not too sure. What even ideal conditions are for the flu, I'm not too sure. Maybe close quarters, certain temperature, humidity, I'm not too sure. But that's the information I was hearing as I sat quietly in the corner. Another interesting one was the death rate. Now, the flu kills 0.5%. Now, we're around the WHO, depends who you talk to. It's changing every day because of the way it's exploding right now, but it's around 2.5%, 3%, they figure, the death rate on this thing as a whole. But what they found interesting in China, apparently, was over age 55, and it doubles. So it was 4% at age 55 in Wuhan. And each generation, it goes up, it doubles. So at age 55, it was 4%. Age 65, it was 8%. Age 75, it was 16%. And I guess this is how it is over there. Whether it's going to be this way here, it affects this populace the same way, I don't know. But that's what they reported in Wuhan, China. That's pretty amazing if that's the truth. And I guess the one that really hit me home, hit me personally the most was a vast majority of the people that contracted this and ended up in critical condition were smokers. I mean, it makes sense because it does attack your lungs, your respiratory. It's a respiratory illness. But I mean, if the majority of the people it's affecting critical are smokers, well, I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad I gained all this weight and I quit smoking. I can shed the weight off, but at least it gives me a greater chance of survival if that's the case. Those are just some of the things I heard. Everything else was just if, buts, and ands and stuff I didn't really understand, and the scenarios, that possible scenarios for Canada and what Canada is doing and everything else. I'm not impressed with Canada as a whole, how long they've waited to do the things they've done. But anyways, that's no here nor there. That's not why I made this video. So guys, I know I said I wasn't going to talk a lot about the virus, and I'm not here to scare you. We know it's here. It's not going away. And another thing they don't know is it's how did the word they phrase it? Not epidemic. Epidemic? Is it epidemic? Maybe was the word. They don't know if it's going to be a seasonal thing or not. They don't know if it's going to come back every year like the flu does. and we end up getting a shot for it like we do the flu shot. And apparently, also they were saying that in Canada anyways, the flu shot did good jobs this year, up to 50% effectiveness. So I've never had a flu shot. My family doesn't get them. I don't believe in them, but apparently they really work this year. Oh, there's my bird clock in the background. Anyways, guys, the coronavirus is here. It's not going away. Make sure your place of employment, wherever you work, has something in place. If not, talk about it to your supervisors, or whether you're sitting in a cubicle or what. Plan for this, guys, because like I said before, we're all going to know someone, I think, who has coronavirus or had coronavirus by the time this is all over, if not ourselves. But anyways, I'm Wild Willie and I got to get trucking. Remember, it's not a question if the shit's going to hit the fans. It's a question of when, so be prepared.